Hey, it's Bernard Nomberg with the Nomberg Law Firm. And one issue that comes up from time to time is when a client has reached the end of their recovery period and they have been released back to work by the doctor who has been the authorized treating doctor under workers' comp. However, the insurance adjuster does not make an offer to settle the claim. Why does that happen and how does that occur can be a very confusing thing for a person who's just gone through weeks or months or even years of medical care after being hurt on the job. Well, under the Alabama Workers' Compensation Act, you're not guaranteed to be paid anything. What you are subject to is the parameters of how a workers' compensation claim is valued and how to come up with the monetary value of a claim. If you have a scheduled member injury and that injury which results in a certain number of weeks to be paid, you might be paid during what we call the recovery period while you're off of work or the employer can't accommodate you, but it's prior to you being fully released by the doctor at maximum medical improvement. You might get weekly or bi-weekly comp checks, which is subject to another video another day. However, at the end of the process, if you receive a 0% impairment, regardless if it's a scheduled member or a body as a whole member type injury, now a scheduled member could be a hand or a foot, a body as a whole could be your back or a shoulder. If it's a 0% impairment, you're released with no further work restrictions, released back fully with no limitations, and the doctor has completely released you from all medical care. That's a scenario where the adjuster has no incentive at the time to settle your case. Now, your medical care would remain open, and that leads me to the second part of this discussion, is one of the ways that it might be feasible for the insurance adjuster to actually pay you a settlement in this scenario would be the closure of medicals. Now, what that means is if you decide to close your future medical care, that's the medical care related to the work comp injury that you're claiming in this case. It's not insurance. It's not if you have a different type of injury or another type of claim or have a cold and those kind of things. What we're talking about is the closure of your future medical care rights. The insurance company doesn't have to pay you on that, but if you're of the mindset that you don't need that medical care, that could be, in this scenario, the only way to get you any money in this case. Now, I could go on and on and on about this issue, but for now, I'll just leave it at that, because if you have this issue, if you want to discuss it, just give us a call. This is not an easy decision for anybody who's been hurt on the job and needs to make that decision. Call us at 205-930-6900. Nomberglaw.com is our website. We can be found on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.